You just spent a sweltering July afternoon at Mill Pond Park. You walk through your front door expecting relief, but instead you hit a wall of thick, stale air. Your air conditioner is running at full blast, but the house still feels like a sauna. You can literally stand directly over an active vent, feel the cold air blowing against your ankles, and still be sweating. It's incredibly frustrating. Most of us assume that if the AC unit is turning on and making noise, our home should be comfortable. But a functioning machine does not guarantee good indoor air quality. We spend 90% of our lives indoors. When that indoor environment is chronically stuffy, it rarely means your equipment is completely broken. It usually means the system is suffocating. True cooling requires actively managing a delicate, invisible ecosystem. You have to balance airflow, humidity, and filtration to actually feel relief. Curious? Let's head down to the basement to look at the first critical barrier in this ecosystem, the filtration system. When you use a cheap, flat fiberglass filter, or worse, let it clog up with months of pet hair and dust, you restrict the airflow. The AC motor has to work 15% harder just to drag air through that barrier. The fix is straightforward. Switch to a pleated filter rated MERV 8 to 11. MERV is simply a rating for how well it catches dust. Replace it every single month, so air passes freely while the filter traps microscopic particles. Even with clean air moving, a room can still feel miserable. In southern Ontario, a thermostat set to 24 degrees Celsius can easily feel like a sweltering 28 degrees. The culprit is humidity. Moisture suspended in the air physically traps heat against your skin. If left unchecked, that damp, warm air also creates a perfect breeding ground for mold. A whole home dehumidifier strips that moisture directly out of the air before it ever reaches your living room. You can actually set your thermostat a few degrees higher and feel significantly cooler. By stripping out both the physical debris and the invisible moisture, your hardware doesn't have to overwork itself. You save money on energy bills, and the rooms in your house finally feel comfortable to sit in. Now let's look at the actual living spaces. The path air takes through your home is often full of physical roadblocks. A homeowner's living room was perpetually roasting. It turned out they pushed a massive sectional sofa directly over the main return vent. Your AC unit is essentially a giant set of lungs. To maintain what technicians call system balance, the machine has to breathe in exactly as much air as it pushes out. To keep this balance intact, follow the 10-inch clearance rule. Keep all furniture, rugs, and curtains at least 10 inches away for any vent in your house. Next is the brain of the ecosystem, the thermostat. Relying on a manual dial guarantees you will waste money cooling an empty house while you are at work. Smart thermostats solve this by automating your schedule based on when people are actually in the room. They even track the system's runtime and send an alert to your phone when it's exactly time to change that filter we talked about earlier. If you leave vents blocked, cool an empty house, even top-tier hardware underperforms and runs up your bill. Finally, we need to step outside to the literal engine driving this entire process, the outdoor condenser coil. This chart shows a staggering statistic from the Department of Energy. Americans spend $14 billion every single year on HVAC repairs. And as you can see here in the secondary breakdown, a massive portion of that is entirely preventable. When that outdoor condenser gets choked by dead leaves, overgrown bushes, and mud, the system goes into overdrive. The compressor overheats, parts break down, and you end up contributing to that massive $14 billion repair bill. Managing the filtration, humidity, airflow, and scheduling returns the indoor climate to its intended balance. The air loses that heavy, oppressive weight, and the house becomes the comfortable retreat you expected. You can walk through your house right now, pull the armchair away from that vent, and swap out an old filter. You will feel an immediate improvement in your air quality today. But for the complex side of the ecosystem, like safely cleaning the high-voltage condenser or integrating a whole home dehumidifier, we can help. Visit freshvent.co to book a science-based checkup with a friendly local expert. We skip the high-pressure sales and get right to work helping your home breathe easily again.